And now we get to UFC 200, otherwise known probably to most as Disappointment. The main event I think was always going to be a disappointment because I think originally, wasn't it the one that they scheduled the rematch, the pointless rematch between Nathan Diaz and McShouty, whatever his name was, Conor McGregor, that's the one. And when that sort of didn't work, they've deferred to Daniel Cormier and John Jones. John Jones is the #1 contender now after his return and his sort of warm-ups, although you could say that maybe he doesn't deserve as a person to be fighting on this card, least of all the top contender after, having been out for so long for naughty reasons. Equally, I think, isn't Daniel Cormier the person who got the championship without having to face John Jones, or faced him, lost, and then went into the a contendership for the vacant belt and got it that way? I think so. This one, at least in terms of that, will sort out who is properly supposed to be the champion of that division. And for me, I would probably defer to John Jones. I've gone off him a little bit, his character really, but I've never particularly warmed to Daniel Cormier, it has to be said. So there we are. Their second, which is probably considered a co-main event, is the old trick of going back and, when in doubt, getting a pro wrestler in to fill a space. Mark Hunt is ranked number 8, and he's fighting Brock Lesnar. I mean, what Brock Lesnar, who was a flash in the pan, disappeared, and then they pulled him out again. He's not main event, which I wonder how he feels about that. And of course, there's also all the hoo-ha going on about the fact that he's exempt from all the drug testing, etc., etc. Either way, he'll probably win. And then we'll be, stuck in that quagmire all over again. Can't help thinking that they've been a bit desperate with this card, with all the injuries and all the sort of changes in lineup and all that sort of stuff. They have a championship bout between Miesha Tate and Amanda Nunes, which I don't really care about. But I think Miesha Tate will probably hold the championship on that one. And then there's Aldo and Edgar, which is, I believe, a rematch at least. Is it a best of 3? I can't remember. No, I think it's just a rematch. Jose Aldo was a long-time champion who I supported when he was in that position. However, he responded. He blew it really. He cooked his chips a little with me in the way he reacted after his loss. Granted, I think it was his first loss in God knows how long. Maybe his first ever, I don't know without looking. But he has been a spoiled little brat ever since. And it's kind of ruined, at least for me, the sort of legacy he had. Especially when you compare him to somebody like Frankie Edgar, who seems to spend most of his time waiting for the institution to decide that he should challenge for a title that he's been qualified to be contender of for 100 million years. It's also a reasonably pointless match, this, unless they are going to scrap the championship from Conor McGregor, because this makes out like they're fighting for a championship when they're not. They're not at all. They're only fighting to be the next person to challenge for the title, and it's ironic that it is ironic that. Frankie Edgar also, I have to say, has held championships before, been very stable, very down to earth. I hope he wins that one, and then I hope very, very quickly he can move on in some way to get hold of the title, because it's owed to him out of patience, if nothing else. The next one is Cain Velasquez and Travis Brown, rated number 2 and number 7. It's going to be a war on their feet, this one, and I would probably go for Cain Velasquez on that, even if Travis Brown does have the better record, 13-2 versus 18-3. who's next? There's a women's bout. Kat Zingano and Juliana Pena. Don't know, don't care. The next one, Johnny Hendricks and Kelvin Gastelum. Johnny Hendricks, you know, it's funny, he tends to finish on his feet or decision, but he's known best as sort of a wrestler on the ground. So statistics, this is why statistics you shouldn't always trust. Statistics would have you believe that it's 47% stand-up, 47% decision, and only 6% submission, which may be true, but Johnny Hendricks is also quite a whiz on the ground. So there we are. I expect Johnny Hendricks will win that one. Don't know if it'll be a finish though. TJ Dillashaw and Rafael Asankeo. Interesting, because I sort of like both of these people. 12-3 versus 23-4. So Rafael has a superior record. But it's difficult to say. It's difficult to say. Part of me... I don't know. Part of me thinks it would be interesting if Rafael Asankeo won this one, so that perhaps he could advance and we could see what that would bring. But some of me also thinks that TJ Dillashaw will probably win and sort of carry on, aim to carry on where he left off. Sage Northcutt is back, fighting Enrique Martin, 7-1 versus 9-3. Well, he's best known for stand-up according to this, and Enrique has absolutely nothing on stand-up, no finishes at all, but he is much better on the ground. I don't know, I'm sure the institution is holding out for Sage Northcutt there. I have to say he's one of the other people that have been abused really by the institution and the management, hyped up, and you know, the moment he's takes a wavering step, they all, you know, boo him, so to speak. But he's reacted a lot better, a lot more mature, bizarrely enough, than some of the other older and more veteran of fighters. So I hope that maybe he can actually win that one. Diego Sanchez and Joe Lauzon, what are they doing at the bottom of the card? It's weird. It's like all the ones I used to know, perhaps it's just like age and they're starting on their decline or something like that. But all the ones I used to know that used to be at the top of the card are not on the top of the card anymore. They're all at the bottom. I don't know about this one. This one should be good. I hope Joe Lauzon wins that one. Gegard Mousasi and Thiago Santos, rated 8 and 15. I think I'll go for Gegard Mousasi on that one. And the last one, Jim Miller and Takanori Gomi. All of these are names that I know from, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. You know, I'm expecting Jim Miller to do well here, to be honest. Can Takanori Gomi last long enough to get a decision victory? No, I doubt it, personally.